All right, let's talk about credit card debt now. It is a problem for many Americans. The average debt per household now reaching more than $8,000 in credit cards. So here to discuss some strategies to try to take control of those cards and kind of wrestle those balances down is money and business expert Derek Kinney. Derek, thanks for being with us again today.
My pleasure, Jason. Great to see you.
I was looking not that long ago at the total amount owed, and boy, you just see that line just going straight up toward $1 trillion here in this country. A lot of people, sort of swimming in that credit card debt right now that can feel pretty hopeless. What would you say are the main factors that are driving that line higher, driving those levels of credit card debt here in America?
Well, two big things. First of all, human nature, and also just a lack of planning. And so people tend to want to maintain a certain lifestyle. They want to put their kids in the sports they want to play and pay for the lessons their kids need and go on vacation. And sometimes they don't have the money to do that. And they reason, we'll just put this on a credit card and then pay it off over time because that's what everybody seems to do, or they look like they're doing that. And then human nature is, look, I just want to have a life I want to come home to and enjoy. But oftentimes people forget how much they put on the credit card and they don't have the money set aside 30 days later to pay it off. And that's when the problem begins to bloom.
Yeah, and then it just keeps on going from there, and it's like it takes on a life of its own. So what do you say to somebody, whether it's an individual or a family, what do you say to them to effectively, manage that credit card debt and try to, take those steps to control it?
Well, first of all, I know many people are hurting right now financially, so my heart goes out to each of those people that may have lost a job or they're barely making ends meet. So I get that and I empathize with your situation. But there's two things. First of all, the government will not bail you out of your credit card debt. So once you recognize that, you realize, oh my gosh, I've got to own this problem myself. Two things. Number one, stop putting things on the credit card that you can't pay off 30 days from now. That is step number one, and really the foundation of getting yourself out of debt. Second of all, begin to set manageable goals over 30, 60, and 90 days, Jason. So let's say you say, look, I want to pay off an extra $500 on my credit cards in the next 90 days. Well, now you've got to focus. And you've got a driven point that you're driving toward, that when unexpected things come up, in 90 days, I'm going to have this goal achieved, but no more new things are put on that I can't pay off in 30 days.
Okay, so let's talk about the credit card companies here, Derek, because they make this easy too. They market these products as ways to earn rewards, or you can build credit, or hey, how about financing those large purchases, that maybe you don't actually have the cash for right now. Do you think that is kind of contributing to higher credit card debt here in this country, just because it's so easy to get into it?
Oh, I definitely do. And believe me, I meet some very, very smart people who tell me, Derek, I put everything on my credit card to get the points. Well, it's one thing to do that, Jason, if you can pay off the credit card at the end of 30 days. But if not, then the credit card company is winning the game. And keep in mind, this is a game. And if you're going to play it, the way to win it is you pay it off in 30 days. You lose the game if you can't pay it off in 30 days, because that's when usurious interest rates kick in. And we know that if you use points to buy an airline ticket, you're going to come out cheaper if you just pay cash for the ticket as opposed to points, because of all the money it took to build up the points. So think of the points as a luxury, that if you already pay off your credit card and you want the points, that's the way to do it and win the game, because I want you to win the game of credit.
Yeah, don't do it just for those points. Do it only if you can keep on paying it off every month, and it's just that little, extra on top. So let's talk about the rise of new financial technologies and all of these different digital platforms and all of that. Do you think that credit cards are going to keep on playing a significant role in consumer finance, as we go into the future here? I would imagine that those companies are really adept at making sure that they have a significant role still.
They do. And the key here, Jason, is they're in the game of invisible money. When I put money on a credit card or put an expense there, it's easy for me to forget how much I put on it. And I'm always surprised when I get my bill, oh my gosh, I really spent a lot this month. I need to pay that off. And so the credit card company knows that, look, electronic money is the trend and the future of business, because people tend to forget what they spend. So it's going to be even more critical for our viewers to make sure they're tracking, whether it's in a notepad or on their phone, each time they use their credit card, and they know how much they're spending. Because first of all, we know that consumers tend to spend 20% more when they use plastic than when they use cash. And that's what the credit card companies know and can often take advantage of.
Wait, we spend 20% more when we use a credit card.
Yeah, that's what statistics show right now. And it's because we often forget that we're actually using that money. When you write the physical check or you take the cash out, that makes you second guess, do I really want to release this money to someone else? But credit, it's this invisible transaction that typically we do spend more.
Okay, just because you said that, I'm going to be watching myself even closer from now on when I use that credit card. See, Derek, that's why we have you on. You're like that little angel on our shoulder. Thanks so much for coming on and doing this. Hopefully that really does help some folks who are struggling with it.
My pleasure, Jason. Great to see you.
His name is Derek Kinney. He is the author of Good Money Revolution. Always great to have you. Thanks, man.